Crypto presents exciting new opportunities for the investment-minded, but it's also volatile and accelerating in complexity. That's why we created Token Metrics, an intelligent crypto platform backed by an industry-leading combination of data, AI, and media that feeds optimized portfolios to crypto investors. Featuring Token Metrics ratings to help you find the best investment opportunities in real time, an indices page that showcases various model portfolios, and deep insights into price predictions and technical analysis. A dedicated NFT dashboard that evaluates NFT collections and assets by our machine learning algorithm to find the most profitable and secure NFTs across all available blockchains. Plus, with access to Token Metrics TV, monitor 24/7 exclusive crypto news and analysis. Whether you're a first-time trader or a seasoned crypto investor, you can stay informed and in control, backed by your all-in-one crypto companion, Token Metrics. Take control of crypto today at tokenmetrics.com.
We just landed on the moon in the Lambo.
Happy Friday, and happy Cinco de Mayo.
Go.
Hello, crypto family. Hello, Token Metrics family. Welcome to Token Metrics Live. And man, what a week for meme coins. What a week for Pepe. Pepe is doing what, a 10x, 100x? Only in crypto. Never a dull day in crypto. Welcome to the stream. I'm Ian Blena, your host, founder and CEO of Token Metrics, and also general partner at Token Metrics Ventures. All right, so let's see who's on the stream. A10 says, I didn't buy. Okay, interesting. So let us know who bought Pepe, who FOMO'd in, who's making some bank. Let us know. Tell us your Pepe journey down below in the comments. All right. Hola, Jai. How are you? Welk, what's up? We'll cover questions at the end. I'll post the Menti code. Hey, Raj. How are you? Good to have you here. Red for Danger in the house. Hi, Dere. How are you? BK Crypto in the house. Boom. Yeah, Pepe coin. We're here. Raj says Astrobot family. Yes, Astrobot family in the house as well. OMG Pepe. The best way to start the weekend. YouTube with Ian. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So yes. Iceberg says Token Metrics with some alpha coming in hot. Red for Danger says did a 15x on Pepe. I was late on it. Oh, I mean 15x in this market. That is still good.
We just landed on the moon in the Lambo.
Not quite a moon Lambo. Moon Lambo is 100x, but question of the day, actually. Well, not to kind of foreshadow, but tell me what you think. Do you think Pepe can do 100x? Tell me what you think down below in the comments. All right, so Demiko says, bruh, Pepe developer is also the dev of Bobo. I'm trying to let as many people as possible since they missed out on Pepe early. I can send you proof if you want it. Okay, I don't know what Bobo is. I'm guessing it was a meme coin as well. Jackson says, happy Friday. Meow says, I FOMO'd. Haha, probably bought the top. All right, well, we'll cover everything. I'll let you know my thoughts on it. I do not have Pepe. Typically, I avoid meme coins. I haven't really dabbled in meme coins, but hey, if it makes money, it makes sense. The main thing is just make sure you manage your risk management. Never put more than 1% of your portfolio into a trade. Meme coins, by definitions, are trades. Now, let's say for some reason you're investing in a meme coin for the long term. Like, let's say you think it's the next Shiba Inu, right? Because funny story is, I mean, I have the story of all time. I was hosting one of the guys that has been alleged to be the founder of Shiba Inu. Actually, BitBoy exposed him. But basically, I was hosting this guy, and we all knew that there were lots of people involved in Shiba Inu in the circle. Some people speculated SBF and all these other people, but there were lots of crypto insiders who were involved. And this guy, this was not his first meme coin or his first cryptocurrency. He had done a legit project prior in the past, but I was hosting him during COVID. Actually, it was a week before COVID forced the US to basically shut down. I was hosting for drinks in Maryland in the DMV, and he was telling me this meme coin. I was like, yeah, whatever. You know, I don't do meme coins, right? I do token metrics. And lo and behold, this guy's now a billionaire. I mean, only in crypto. So in crypto, I feel like there is stories like that where you miss out on meme coins that end up creating millionaires and billionaires. But obviously, I've done pretty well myself, so I'm not crying about it. But anyway, so let me just pull up the Mentimeter here, and we'll start the stream. Let me just go full screen. So definitely be sure to like. It helps us with the algorithm. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we're covering Pepe and meme coins and Shiba Inu and top crypto coins of the week and for May. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, on YouTube, Telegram, the podcast, Facebook, all over. And if you want to send your question for the AMA, just go to menti.com, MENTI.com, enter the code 1462 9643. That's 1462 9643, or just scan this QR code and send your questions. I want to know, what question do you want me to help answer the most? Obviously not financial advice, but what crypto question do you want me to answer the most? Send that here. All right, and then let's go through the agenda. So we've done the audience welcome, and guess what? Astra Dao has launched V2. Yes, the relaunch is live, and we've also launched a fully integrated and automated index between Tokenmetrics using our data API and Astra Dao for wrapped Ethereum. So the plan is to launch an Astra index each week. So this week we've launched the wrapped Ethereum, and basically you can invest ETH or stablecoins, basically DAI, Tether, USDC. Preferably you use USDC because that has lower gas fees because there's no conversion if you could, because the base of the index is USDC. Let me actually pull this up here. Just bear with me. Okay, what it on here? Give me 1 second. I'm looking to go to. Just want to show you guys real quick because people have been asking, hey, when's Astra launching? When's Astra launching? Guess what? We are now live. So you basically come down here, and this index was actually launched by Tokenmetrics Ventures, our fund. We basically put up the capital. And right now, so to kind of segue real quick, I'll kind of do a brief overview on how this works. So you basically come here, you pick the index, you buy the index, you put in ETH stablecoin. Right now it's in stablecoins because this is tied to the Tokenmetrics signal for wrapped Ethereum. Wrapped Ethereum is basically Ethereum. It's the same thing, but because wrapped ETH is a ERC20 token version for ETH, and basically because this is bearish, it's out of ETH or wrapped ETH. But the plan is basically when it's bullish, it buys. When it's bearish, it sells. So it's automating trading Ethereum. So if you want to just follow the signal to buy and sell ETH based on the signal without having to keep tabs on the market or ETH or whatever, we basically are showcasing the integration of Astra Dao smart contracts on chain for buying an index with Tokenmetrics. So this is the first index we've launched, and to kind of show you guys that we actually believe in this, we've actually using our fund put up capital, right? Because each index needs a minimum of 50K before it starts. So to kind of make it easier for people to join without having everybody put in money, we've put up the initial 50K ourselves, right, to kind of showcase this. And each week we plan to have lots of other indices. So the plan is one index per week. So because it's built on Ethereum, we thought it made sense to launch first with ETH, a wrapped ETH. So next week we'll be launching a wrapped Bitcoin index that basically goes through and buys WBTC. And then from there, we'll kind of go with the community and based on what's liquid. But the plan is probably going to be Polygon and then maybe Uniswap and ApeCoin, because those are the most liquid tokens on Uniswap in the last 30 days or so, and kind of go down. We'll definitely take community interest into that. But now anybody can also launch their own index. All you have to do is just go here, log in, create an index. Now you do have to put up the capital as an index creator, right? So basically you come in here, you have to pay 5 billion Astra at current prices. This is about $900 to create an index. And that way we don't get too many spam indices. And then once you create an index, other people have to put capital into it, other people or yourself. But in general, there has to be more than $50,000 in the index before it's launched and begins trading. So that's the whole process. Definitely tell us what you think. Obviously, I'm very, very bullish on Astra Dao. I'm also very biased on Astra Dao, being heavily involved in the project, being an early contributor to the project, and it also being my largest holding in crypto. But anyway, that's kind of the quick 411 on Astra DAO and the indices. Wanted to kind of share that with everybody because people have been asking when it's launching. All right, so now let's head back to Mentimeter. Actually, let me check in the comments and see if anybody has any comments on this. People are saying waiting for Pepe Inu. that actually would be pretty funny. I'm pretty sure someone in crypto will do that because it is crypto. All right, so let's go straight to the coin of the week. All right, so we're covering all these trending coins of the week. We got some meme coins in here. Go to minty.com and tell us what you think. Are you guys able to vote? Because typically, I'm not seeing any votes. Has voting started? Let me just check something real quick. Yeah, because I'm not seeing people's votes here. What's going on? Is Minty acting up? Okay, let me know in the comments if you're able to vote. What's going on here? Hold on, let me just exit out of this real quick. Why is Mentimeter acting up today? Okay, so people are sending questions, but I'm not sure why it's not showing point of the week. Okay, all right, there we go. All right, that is fixed. Okay, all right, so we got coins of the week. We got 6 different options. Go and vote. Definitely make your voice heard. So the options are, we've got Sui, the new layer 1 that's trying to compete with Aptos and Solana. Is this the next Solana? Is this the next DAO the next? I'll share my thoughts on that. Then we've got Pepe, the meme coin that has come out of nowhere and just taken the whole crypto world by storm. It's now, I believe, what, top 100 market cap? The question is this going to surpass Shiba Inu? Is this going to catch up to Shiba Inu? Because I feel like every cycle you always have that meme coin, right? So yeah, Dogecoin, then you had Shiba Inu. Then you've got next Shiba Inu. Is Shiba Inu now going to catch up? Are people now going to take the profits from Pepe and go back into Shiba Inu and speculate with that? Then we've got Arbitrum, the L2 that's really killing it. The top L2 right now in terms of just activity, users, kind of came out of nowhere, but it's always been hyped. Then we've got Floki, a meme coin as well. Now, I don't know too much about Floki, but people have been talking about Floki for a while, I think since even last cycle. Then you've got Wu Network. So all these are coins that have been trending and have also been the top gainers for the week. Because actually, if we go to, where was I? To coin market cap, right? So top gainers of the week. Actually, I'm sorry, top gainers of the day. Let me make those full screen. Pepe is up 150% in the last 24 hours. That is insane. Floki up 60%. Wu Network, a modest 9%. Then we go to trending. We got Sui, we got Arbitrum, and we got Shiba Inu. Right? So all these are trending. So let's actually go to coin. Actually, just give me 1 second. So now Pepe is a new coin, so we don't have too much on it on token metrics because we need at least 100 days worth of price action before we can really use our AI to give any analysis on this. But I mean, at $1.7 billion FTV, that is high, right? Now, investor grade wise, it's down 25%. So actually, Yeah, it's and this changes about weekly. So it's kind of saying it was a strong buy in the past. Now it's down to just a regular buy. So the top might be in. I mean, it's up almost 1400% in the last 1 week. And it's highly correlated with Tron. And right now it's basically just based on valuation. So this week we can't really comment too much on. The other one, same thing with Sui. Actually, let me go back. Let me open up these websites, and we can take a look and just kind of see if there's anything worth writing home about all these coins. And there's no website for Pepe. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, I'm going to open up all these different sites. So we got Floki. And what else do we have? We had wETH Network, Arbitrum. Arbitrum we kind of covered all the time. Shiba Inu kind of covered. But let's cover the new ones people haven't really heard of, right? So let's actually begin with Sui. So Sui, from a technology standpoint, is a good project. It's decent. I think it's scored like 80%-ish. Now we don't think it's the next like Ethereum per se, or even Solana, but it has potential. For it to score over 80% as an L1 is decent, but it has a lot of competition with Aptos. I think from a technology standpoint, our blockchain engineers prefer Aptos over Sui, but it is crypto. Sometimes not the best tech wins out all the time. But looking at this, it says build beyond, unlock the freedom to build powerful on-chain assets. Basically, decentralized layer one blockchain that redefines asset ownership. But I mean, this comes from the team from Facebook. It's built using the Move programming language. Same thing with Aptos. Basically, this was Facebook Libra, I believe, and the teams kind of disbanded because of regulation and launched their own VC coins, essentially. They raised a bunch of money from VCs and now are trying to go out there and compete with Ethereum, but specifically Solana. So I view Sui and I view Aptos as direct competitors to Solana. Now, despite all the FUD with Solana from FTX and Alameda Research, I think Solana, I'm bullish on it. I feel once it dropped and lost over 95% of its value in the last cycle, it became undervalued. And where it went from last cycle, I think it can go back. And I think with the launch of the Saga phone by Solana is a bullish event. Now let's see how the public and crypto people respond to it. But for me, it's a bullish event. Now Sui, looking at Sui, technology-wise, it's decent. So it's definitely not a bad project, not a scam. But the main thing is, can they get developer adoption? That is what I think is going to be tough to do. Let me just go back. Give me 1 second here. I do like to hop around all the different websites because it's crypto, right? Crypto, you have to have lots of different platforms to use for your research. Okay, so you want to compare smart contract platforms, and CoinGecko added new tags called layer one, right? So FTV of 13 billion with only, let's say, 700 million available, right? So from a numbers perspective, that basically gives us 5% of the token supply is liquid in the market. So that's already a red flag. That tells me VC Ponzi is typically what's happening with that. But if we sort this by FTV for all smart contract platforms, we're basically looking at Sui's just launched recently. It just launched recently and it's already top 4 in FDV. I mean, that is insane. It's higher than Solana. A new project that barely has any adoption has a higher FTV than Solana, has higher than Aptos. So either the technology, now it's a question that now arises is the technology that good, that better than Solana and Aptos? I would say no. Right? Based on, I'm not saying Sui is a bad project. I'm just saying, I think right now there's a lot of hype. Now, obviously, it's crypto. Sometimes people don't pay attention to FDV, but I think long term, it always ends up being pretty true. But if we even go by market cap now, okay, so market cap is going to be a lot more modest. It's going to be probably all the way down here. All right, so market cap wise, this at same level as Casper, Network, and Neo, and Netix. Now, I think Sui has better tech than EOS, for example, right? But for me, what matters more is the FTV. Now, that's if you're trying to invest in this long term. Now, let's say you want to be super risky and avoid all that. What you could do is trade this and say, okay, let's toss FTV out the window. Let's say you're in the camp that believes FTV is the meme. You can go to a site I like to use called Token Unlock, and basically look at the vesting schedule and say, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm willing to play with fire, right? Maybe I'm willing to live life on the edge. So let's see if they have Sui's unlock schedule here. They've got Aptos. Where's their search? They don't have Sui's unlock here. Let's say the Sui network token vesting schedule. Okay, I'm saying. Okay, so let's see this other site. So, all right. Sui tokenomics. Okay, where's this? Okay, I don't want the white paper. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to do that at a different time. Okay, I'm seeing there's a Medium post here on tokenomics. Yeah, the main, let's say, yeah, in the interest of time, we're gonna skip this. I would say look into the tokenomics, but if you're in it right now, it's purely a trade, and I think right now there's a lot of hype. I think it's a little overvalued, but as crypto, things can always keep on pumping. All right, let's go to some other coins from the list. So we had Floki. So this is also a meme coin. It says the people's cryptocurrency. Floki is the utility token of the Floki ecosystem. I'm seeing the Floki ecosystem, Valhalla, Flokify, NFTs. So this looks just like they're just copying what Shiba Inu did and just trying to do the same thing. And it seems like Pepe is doing the same thing as well. I'm surprised Pepe hasn't a website. That's what's kind of surprising. So Floki, I would trade as well. Let's see if they have this site here. Okay, yeah, so there's a website. Not sure why CoinGecko didn't have it. Okay, so let's see here. Pepe VIP, the most memeable meme coin in existence. The top dogs have. Okay, why is it trying to load this? The dogs have had their day. It's time for Pepe to take reign. I actually kind of like that. I kind of like that. All right, so it looks like it's on all these exchanges. We got Uniswap, Gate, MEX, Huobi, and I believe Binance just listed it today or announced the listing of it today. That's actually kind of funny. Make meme coins great again. Pepe is tired of watching everyone play hot potato with the endless derivative. Okay, the Inus have had their day. It's time for the most recognizable meme in the world to take his reign as king of the memes. Pepe is here to make meme coins great again. Launch stealth with no pre-sale, zero taxes, LP burn. All right, so actually, I was looking into this. I think there was, if we go to this on Dexes, somebody sent me this link. It's showing there's 23 million in total liquidity with a market cap of 1.26 billion. So not much liquidity. This site is called dexani.io. If we go down here, looking at some of the signs they have. Okay, so anti-whale, the contract owner or other privileged accounts can limit the maximum amount of transactions. The contract owner can blacklist users to prevent trading. Okay, interesting. Not a honeypot, open source, not a proxy, no buy tax, no sell tax. Okay, interesting site. Definitely check this out. But if we go back to were we? Like, for example, comparing this to Floki, right? So Floki has market cap $500 million. FTV is probably around the same because supply and total supply is the same. Trading volume of 214 million. And it's trading on some good exchanges: Gate, OKX, KuCoin, BitGet, Bybit. So it's definitely liquid. But comparing that to Pepe, right? Pepe liquidity is, 1.3 billion, almost 1.4 billion. That is a lot. But the main thing looking at this, right? It has an FTV and market cap of 1.5 billion with a trading volume of 1.4 billion. So, just doing the quick math, right? 1.4, 1.5 is 93% of the total supply is changing hands every single day. Just think about that. That means 93% of the people that were holding Pepe yesterday are not holding it anymore. So this is purely degen, purely speculation, pure traders. People are getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out. Now, so people are trying to earn a quick buck. And if you're doing that, that's fine. But at the same time, I feel like if you're going to enter meme coins, you have to have some balls of steel. Like, you gotta, because you don't want to be the guy who was trading Shiba Inu and missed out on what, 1,000x or whatever it did. So, for example, in the last 2 weeks, it's done a 10x, 1,000%. So I'm not saying go out there and FOMO into meme coins. Definitely, I'm not saying that. Because that's not what we do here at Tokenmetrics with Crypto Investing Guide. Definitely check out the book on Amazon, right? We do have a strategy for investing in crypto long term, but at the same time, you can trade and speculate. The main thing is to manage your risk. So if it was me, what would I do? So, because sometimes meme coins are a good way to make money. So I would say the first thing is I would manage my risk. I would say not more than 1% of my portfolio am I going to put into any trade. So let's say, you know what, I see this pumping. Let's say I have 100 grand in my crypto portfolio. I would take $1,000 and I would put it into, let's say, Pepe. And I would say, this is money I have lost. So when this goes to zero, I'm not going to cry about it, not going to complain about it. I'm basically already writing this off as an L. Right? Actually, I think we have a song for that. Yeah, don't take any L's. But in this instance, mentally, so that way you don't stress, you don't FOMO, right? Mentally, you take the L already. You say, okay, I have 100 grand. I'm taking 1%, putting this into a meme coin like Pepe. I'm basically buying the top and it's going to zero. That's the mindset. So when it happens, there's no fuss. And everything else, if that does not happen, if you actually make money in it, that is gravy. But at the same time, you also have to have the mindset of, okay, I'm not going to sweat it. I'm taking the L. It's a meme coin. I've managed the risk. So if it blows up, I still have 99 grand in my portfolio. Because where people end up getting wrecked and become salty is they see this pumping. And literally, I've seen this back in the day, because I've been in crypto since 2016. They'll put in 50% of their portfolio into a meme coin. And when it goes to zero, they get wrecked. That's the worst mistake you can do. Manage risk. You have to live any other day. So once you manage risk, you can hold out for the long term, even with meme coins or trades, right? So let's say I do that. And going back to this, I say, okay, Pepe is currently at an FDV of 1.5 billion. So the natural question I'm going to say is, okay, we're going to look at means. And let's see, where can this go? Can this do a 10x, 100x? Is that even possible? All right. So because meme coins typically not all of them have FDVs. Because if we do FDV, what is the highest? But let's actually do market cap in this instance. So we got all the memes. Dogecoin is 11 billion market cap. Dogecoin does have inflation. Let's go to Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is 5.8, basically 6 billion market cap. Pepe is already 1.5. So natural question is just the next Shiba Inu? Maybe not, right? But going to this, right? Dogecoin, infinite supply, but basically this is a supply. So I think it's what, 5% inflation a year for Shiba Inu. Okay, you got about 60% of the tokens in the market, and the rest, about 40% hasn't hit the market. So comparing this to where are we, right? So 1.5 billion. So I'm going to actually do this and say Shiba Inu actually has a yes, about 60%. So I would say 10 trillion FDV. I'm sorry, 10 billion FDV for Shiba Inu. So for Pepe to go to Shiba Inu status, it would have to do, let's do it, 10 divided by 1.5, 6 to 7x. Is that reasonable? Because it looks like based on their marketing, that is the goal, right? Their goal is to flip all this, right? To get all these dog coins out of the way. And it is crypto. Pepe has been a meme that's been around for a while. So it is possible. That I would say is the target. So if you're gonna gamble, or might as well try to hit a home run, right? So I would say at current levels of what, 0.000037 for this to surpass, because Dogecoin also has 11. Let's say we're targeting a 6 to 7x, right? So I would just times this by 6. So we're getting what? It's giving you scientific notation. Basically, just expect the price to double by 6, right? So that's what, 0.000022. So basically 4 zeros and 2, right? That would be my take profit target in this trade that's pure degen. So basically I would look for 6x from here. So I would put in, going back to the example, I have 100 grand. I would take 1 grand max, nothing more, put that into Pepe and wait for 6x. After 6x, I'll take my initial, maybe some more. I'll probably take out, so let's say I put in 1 grand, it turns to 6 grand. I'll probably take out 2 or 3 grand and leave the rest as a moon bag and not look at it for the next 2 years. That's kind of the mindset, right? So, and I think maybe that's what's happening with the liquidity. Going back to, where was I? It's actually over here, right? And I think that's likely what's happening with all this, right? Because I mentioned earlier that you have 93% of the total supply is changing hands every day. So I'm guessing people are just taking profits, and keeping a moon bag. So that's kind of my take on that. But going back to the Mentimeter, where was I? I've kind of been hopping all over. Then we've got Arbitrum, we've got Wu Network. So tell me what you think. What's the coin of the week? Well, it looks like the audience has voted.
We just landed on the moon in the Lambo.
Pepe is the community's coin of the week. And hopefully I've given you a strategy on how to trade this meme coin while managing risk, right? Because we're not opposed to making money here at Tokenmetrics. We're very practical. We're very pragmatic. Making money is making money. If it makes money, it makes sense. But only if you manage your risk. And I've given you a strategy on how you can really ape into meme coins and not get wrecked. So recap, never put more than 1% of your portfolio into a trade. So it's okay to put 1% into Pepe. Because if it blows up, you're good. You're not getting wrecked. You're not putting in your mortgage. You're not ending up in divorce or whatever, or bankruptcy because of investing in meme coins. Trust me, I've heard this. I've heard stories of people borrowing money from their credit cards, or even getting borrowing money from their mortgage or their house to put all of it, like 50 grand, 100 grand into meme coins or ICOs back in 2017, 2018. I mean, trust me, greed is a hell of a drug. I mean, so the main thing in crypto is manage risk. I've stayed around for a while because I've managed my risk, right? So because I keep on emphasizing this point because in the past I've talked about investing in. Back then I would invest 5 to 10% into a project, and I would manage my risk after doing my research. But people would just see, oh, Ian invested, and just put in half of the portfolio and get wrecked. Because think about it, if you put in half of your portfolio into 2 coins, in crypto, market crashes, 2 of them go to 0, you're wrecked. Right? So if you want a strategy on how to get a 10x or 100x or get crypto retirement and build generational wealth while managing risk, because I mean, I'm able to do crypto full time because of this. And that's how you manage the risk. So recap, 1%, no more into Pepe. Already assume it's going to 0, it's taking an L. That's what I would do, with a price target of it doing a 6x from here. And if that does happen, basically I would take out 2 to 3 grand. So basically I would take out a third to half. So basically 30 to 50%. Once it hits the target, take out profit, put that into maybe other meme coins or other investments, and then leave a moon bag. Because let's say it keeps on going. Let's say the total crypto market cap, actually, let's even delve deeper into this, right? So let's say the total crypto market cap does a 10x, because it's currently at what, $1 trillion? Let's say between now and 2027, the target is going to be 10 trillion. So if between now and the next 4 years, Pepe does a 10x from after a 6x. So if it goes from 10 billion to a 10x, that's 100 billion. That is very, very, that's the moon case, right? So let's say the base moon case currently is, it does a 6x from here. But let's say by 2027, and crypto has taken over the world and everything's crypto, everything's Web3, and Pepe is still around, you want to keep a moon bag for that case. That's how you can speculate in meme coins like Shiba Inu early on, but not be the guy that got out at a 6x and missed it during 1,000 or even 10,000x. Like for example, if we go to Shiba, let's actually do this, right? So all-time low of Shiba 2 years ago, November 28th, 2020. Like look at this return right here. If we can zoom in here, I want to show you this. So this is why sometimes you can speculate in meme coins, but you have to manage the risk, right? So imagine you got in somewhere around here, right? So percentage-wise, this is going to be a what? Take out the 2. So I mean, this has done a 17,000x return on your money. Now let's assume you didn't catch the bottom, right? Because rarely do people catch the bottom, but you want to be somewhere close, right? Let's say you even got half of this. So that's 8,000x return on your money. Let's even round down to be even more conservative, 5,000x, right? So that means if you put in $1,000, let's say you had 100 grand and you put in $1,000, 5,000x, you would have made $5 million on Shiba Inu. Let's think about that. You would have made $5 million on Shiba Inu. Now, let's get even more conservative. Let's say you only had $10,000, right? So I like breaking down the math using kind of paper napkin math to show you how feasible this is. So $10,000 times 1%. So you'd put in $100 into Shiba Inu, let's say back in the day, and let's say you weren't anywhere close to the bottom, because it's very rare to be that close to the bottom, right? So let's say as opposed to getting a 17,000x, you got a 5,000x return on this, right? So $100 times 5,000x is going to be 500 grand. So $100 to $500,000. That's the power of crypto. So, I mean, that's the strategy. Now, people end up getting wrecked and not managing their risk, right? Because with meme coins, never more than 1% of your portfolio. Like, I want to keep on pouncing that home, right? But that's what I would do. All right. So anyway, that's the strategy to getting into a meme coin and making what, $500,000 to $5 million. I mean, the stories are there. I hear them all the time. It is possible, but that's how you do it while managing risk. All right. So, and enough with coin of the week. Actually, let me check the chat and see what people are saying. Somebody says, I'd rather put my money in Dogecoin and Shiba Inu since it will go up crazy in the next bull run. That's true. That's fair. But you always have to kind of analyze everything. Very sensible words. Thank you. I appreciate that. Zakaria says, could Pepe break another zero? Well, I mean, yeah, basically, if it does a 6x, that's possible, right? So Crypto John says, be careful. Insider whales are dumping the memes in a few days from now. That's why, that's definitely fair, because with meme coins, always assume your investment is going to zero, right? And that's why you want to, as soon as it goes up, you want to take out your initial investment and leave a moon bag. You never want to be left holding the bag, because that happens all the time, right? Meme coins are a game of musical chairs. So definitely keep that in mind, right? I definitely encourage you to share this video to anybody that's speculating in Pepe, Shiba Inu, all these meme coins, Floki. Let them know this is a game of musical chairs. You could be left holding the bag. That's why you got to manage the risk. Let's see here. Okay, somebody says Pepe will never go to 1 cent in our lifetime due to 420 trillion coin supply. 420. All these meme coins always got jokes. Oh man. All right. Well, is it too late to buy it? Well, I just kind of shared what I would do, right? I would put 1% top maximum of my portfolio into it. So if you have 10 grand, that's $100. That's it. I would assume it's going to zero with a price target of doing the 6x. If that happens, I would take out a third of that, take out my initial and some profits. That way I'm good. And I would leave the rest as a moon bag and not check it till 2027. What does that mean? That means don't look at the price every day, every week after that, because you already cashed out, took your profits and then some. And don't be asking me, hey, is this going to do a 10x 6 months later? Because it's a moon bag for a reason. It's a moon bag, it's set and forget. It's basically kind of like a trust fund, right? You basically just set and forget and just wait to wake up in 2027 when the crypto market is 10 trillion, hopefully, and say, oh man, Pepe blew the hell up. It did 1,000x, 17,000x. And I was that guy or gal that had a long-term fortitude to hold, all right? Now, obviously, as it's going up over the next, let's say that happens, you definitely want to be taking profits on the way up, but not every day, every week, in a strategic fashion. So for me, it would be more so like maybe after every 10x to 20x, I take a third off, right? So that's kind of the way I would be doing it. All right, so question of the day, I've kind of been talking on this point because this has been the topic of the week. Will Pepe surpass Shiba Inu in market cap or even FDV? Tell me what you think down below, right? Tell me what you think down below. I mean, call me a speculator. I think it's possible. Because think about it. Pepe is the original meme in crypto. It's been around for forever. Like even when I was in crypto in 2016, 17, Pepe was around. So it's not like it's a meme that came out of nowhere. I mean, whoever did this was actually a genius, marketing genius, to get an OG meme in crypto and create a token for it. Now, the main thing is because now you have liquidity. And because you have liquidity, you have exchanges adding it, right? So the fact that Binance has added Pepe gives it more cachet. Now we're just waiting on Coinbase listing, and I would say Robinhood listing. All right, because just think about this. If I go back to the charts here, top meme coins, right? Think about this. It's already top 3 in market cap. It just needs a 6x, actually even less. If we're doing just market cap, but because I'm factoring in the FDV, right? Shiba Inu has basically an FDV of about 10 billion, right? So for FDV to do a 6x, because currently, going back to the exchanges it's on, because Pepe is currently on just Uniswap. Actually, that's sorted by trading volume, right? So OKX has 500 million. Uniswap has it, MEX, Gate, Huobi. So the question is, if Binance has announced that they're adding it, and if Coinbase adds it, would that be enough to bring in new people to have this do a 6x? I think that's possible. But guess what? What if Robinhood adds it? Because I think the reason why like Shiba blew up, if I already have a tab for that, why Shiba blew up, it had liquidity. Like every major exchange added it. Right? So sorting by volume. So Shiba is on Binance and Coinbase and Robinhood. Robinhood has a lot of retail users. It's like all the Wall Street Bets people. So just think about it. The Wall Street Bets people aren't yet on Pepe, right? Maybe they are if they're deep in crypto, right? Buying on DEXs. But if you factor in Binance listing, I think this could probably double, maybe triple in price. Coinbase listing, but Robinhood listing. I think if this meme really takes off and takes over all of crypto and even finance, I mean, because I think Pepe is even a meme outside of crypto, I believe, right? Because it's one of those OG memes, and people love memes. And once people see, oh, this is done, what? Actually, if let's go to Pepe on CoinGecko and see what it's done already. You already got all these other Pepe forks now. Pepe GPT. You gotta love crypto. Pepe GPT is hilarious. All right. All right. So if we go down here, so looking from the all-time low, in 18 days, it's done a 66x. Really, is that it? I thought it did a lot more. Okay, so 66x in 3 weeks. I mean, not too shabby. So it's getting close to 100x. And market cap dominance, 0.125%. Yeah, I mean, so going back to question of the day, I think it's possible. I mean, call me a home run hitter or a gambler, speculator, but I think it's possible. And I'm giving you the fundamental reasons why I think that's possible. It just needs, from current valuations, FDV-wise, to do a 6x to surpass Shiba Inu. A 6x from current prices is possible. It's an OG meme. And if you add Binance listing, Coinbase listing, and Robinhood, I think is the big one, then anybody who's a degen in crypto or outside of crypto, because now you get all the degens in stocks on Robinhood, that do crypto on Robinhood, that can get in. The Wall Street Bets Reddit crowd. I think if that happens, this can surpass Shiba Inu in market cap and FDV. All right, so let's see what people think. Let me check the chat down below. Pepe is on Twitch. Okay. We're not in a crypto bull run. We're still in a bear market of crypto. Yes, that is true, right? We're still in a bearish trend, because going to the tokenmetrics bear market indicator, and definitely check out tokenmetrics. We did make the basic plan free, so anybody can now just go to tokenmetrics and create a free account. This is a platform we use for analysis. Obviously, I use everything: tokenmetrics, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and others. But this, to kind of do a quick market update, we're still in a bearish trend, right? So since April 19th, 20th. But this is why I don't really follow the macro, because in crypto and investing, there's always alpha somewhere. You have to just find it. And once you find it, you have to manage the risk. So right now we're in a bearish environment. It's risk off. So you have to be very, very conservative and manage your risk even more so. But there's still returns out there, right? We're in a bear market or bearish trend, and you could still have done a 50x or more on Pepe, or even a 10x. So if you're asleep at the wheel just because it's a bearish trend, you will not make the alpha. I'm sorry to tell you. Even though we're in a bear market, even though it's bearish, you always got to be in crypto. You always got to be following the news, following the trends, because sometimes the alpha is there in the bear market or bearish trends. So looking at this, yes, it's very bearish, right? 34%. Most of the tokens on tokenmetrics have a low grade, but that's why I think people are getting into meme coins. And we're deep in Bitcoin season, right? So people are either in Bitcoin, maybe ETH, not many alts, and then just meme coins. And if we go down here, right, most of the alpha is in other tokens. So that being said, that's kind of the strategy and the way I would be playing it. Let me check some more questions here in the chat. Dogecoin is the oldest meme coin, not Pepe coin. Right. I'm saying in terms of just memes in general. Pepe is definitely a meme that's been around for a while. Let's see here. Tokenmetrics has wETH Inu listed under investor grade. Why not put something on that? We've covered wETH Inu in the past. It's also a meme coin if you want to look into. Somebody says Pepe coin will crash 95%. That's the mindset. Assume any meme coin you get into is going to go to zero. You're going to lose everything. That's why you manage your risk and your expectations ahead of time. It's kind of like preparing yourself for the worst. That way, if it happens, you're not shocked, you're not wrecked, you're not crying, you're not depressed. And if you make money, that's even better, right? Then you're gravy. Manage your expectations before going in. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. Top 5 coins of the week using Tokenmetrics. All right. So let's go to Tokenmetrics. Definitely go create a free account. So if we go there, actually, sorry, that's not what I want. That's the, that's the data API. All right, so this is how I would find, let's say you've done your meme coins, you put 1% max. All right, so let's say you have 10 grand, you put in $100 into Pepe. Maybe you do $100 into Pepe, into Floki, into wETH Inu, into what else? What other meme coins do we have? If we go back to the list. Let's go back to the list here. Let me actually. Yeah, so basically we got Pepe, we got Shiba Inu. So basically, to keep things simple, 1% into these six coins. Right, so 6% of your portfolio into the 6 coins. You assume they're going to zero. You're managing your risk. If they blow up, they do, right? You take profits, take out your initial. I think that's a good way to speculate on what's trending while not getting wrecked, right? So now let's move beyond that and say we're now also going to look at the top 5 coins of the week. So these are in addition to these coins. So we'll go to Tokenmetrics, go to ratings. I go to customize, so I can use custom metrics. As mentioned before, basic plan is now free, so anybody can go create a free account. So I encourage you to go do it now. Don't forget. Definitely tell your friends who don't have Tokenmetrics, hey, we have a free plan now. Go check it out. So I'm going to go to trader grade. I'm going to say, show me trader grade. That is, let's actually do 60% or higher. Let's say we want to see what has quickly turned bullish, meaning it's in a buy zone, but we don't want to find anything that's already been bullish for a while that maybe has peaked or topped, right? So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to put in only show me what has a bullish trading signal, because we're trying to trade here. So I'm going to add that filter. All right. Now I want to add a filter for liquidity, because I don't want to get caught with my pants down in a way. Because when the liquidity dries up, you don't want to be left holding the bag. Let's say 10 million or more trading volume. All right, now we're down to 20 tokens. Now I only want to look at those that actually have a high certain ratio. What does that mean? In simple terms, it means that for every unit of risk you're taking, the returns are worth it, right? So is the risk you're taking worth the returns? Or put differently, have the returns in the past been worth the level of risk taken, right? So if you're investing in a meme coin that's volatile, you want to make sure that, yes, maybe most of the times you strike out, but the times you hit the ball, it is a home run, right? So that's basically what I'm filtering for using this metric. It's a quant metric, because last thing you want to do is take on something that is very risky, that rarely makes money or has a very low probability of making money. All right, so let's say 1.5. And let's see what this is going to give us. All right, so we've got six tokens. All right, so what we can do, the 2 ways we can now look at this. We can say, okay, let's look at what has the highest trader grade. So we got IDEX, Render, Injective, Coco's BCX, Radiant Capital, and Chili's. So these are 6 tokens you could look at. So this basically creates your watch list for trades. Now, one other thing you could do, let's say, okay, let's look at what's actually changed the most in terms of trader grade. What's had the biggest reversal? So looking at this, we've got Chili's. So something is going on with Chili's. I'm going to open that in a different tab. We've got Radiant, we've got Render, Injective, and IDEX we've kind of covered before in the past. IDEX, I believe, has some news coming up. I actually covered this on the webinar this week for premium customers and also the grandfathered advanced plan users. So, okay, so Chili's is now on my radar. IDEX is on my radar. Let me just see if I have those tabs loading. Yep. Okay, and then let's also look at the low cap ones and see, okay, which ones have the most upside. So I'm going to sort by ascending FDV. And we've got Coco's BCX, and we've got IDEX as well. All right, so those are the tokens. That's the list. Let's now kind of delve deeper into these. Okay, so yeah, so Chili's has gone from basically, it's more than doubled in trader grade. So it's gone from basically being in a sell to buy zone now. It's not quite in a strong buy, but sometimes once it's here, it might be too late. So this is one I'll be watching. FTV of 1.1 billion. So basically most of the tokens are liquid. About over 70% are, yeah, close to 70% is liquid. Going down here, I see it turned bullish on April 6th. Now let me see if there's any alpha with this signal. Yeah, there is, right? So if you follow this trading signal versus just holding, you would have basically done an 8x return. You've done more than 8x return versus just holding. Holding has done pretty well, but looking at this, so to put simply, this would have done 166x. So 1 grand to 166 grand is actually pretty good over this time frame. So this is actually a trade I'll be looking into. That's kind of how I would do it. And in terms of what that means, basically, even though it's early, I think it makes, because this big reversal tells me there's something trending and it's bullish. So I would put 1%, once again, manage your risk. Each trade, no more than 1%. So if you have 10 grand, that's $100 into this. If you have 100 grand, that's 1 grand into Chili's as a trade. And basically, I'll just wait for this to go all the way till strong buy. And once it dips below the buy, once it goes back to neutral and sell, tend to take profits. But I would say, like, basically, once it goes from buy to strong buy, I would take out my initial, leave the rest as basically a moon bag. Once it dips below buy, get out. That's kind of a quick way of trading this without having to manage all the stop losses and levels and everything. I want to keep things simple for people. So basically, I would put 1% into this, no more, right? Because you want to live. You don't want to get wrecked. Then if we go to the next token here, we've got IDEX. So this is one we've covered, and it's still pumping. This is already in a strong buy zone. So this is actually probably going lower. I see it's already down. We covered this. This was actually on the list of projects we covered. Our fund does hold this. We got in early at, what, 15 million FTV. So it's pretty much doubled in price. And then this got bullish April. Yeah, so it's up over 100% in the last 2 weeks. And basically, the reason why we like this, besides having, it was actually based on fundamentals, right? So investor grade, this is more for the long term, is also pretty good. Technology is decent, good. Fundamentals are right, but the value is very, very undervalued. So you take that and you take the sector it's in, right? So if we switch over to, let's go to CoinGecko and just put in, let's put in IDEX. Right? So this is how you kind of spot these, I wouldn't say no-brainers, but steals is probably a better word, of projects that just make sense, right? So you come here, and basically I just went to DEXs, or exchange-based token. I would say DEXs, and I just look at the FTV, right? So we covered this when it had a 15 million FTV, right? Actually, let me do this with token metrics. It will actually probably be easier for you, for everybody. So this is basically the list. Let me just reset this real quick to keep things. I want to show you how you can find these steals. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna say decentralized exchange. Then I'm gonna add a filter for investor grade. I'm just gonna say over 70. Keep this simple. And then we're going to sort by investor grade. So this is basically the long-term grade. All right, and think, okay, so here we go, right? So out of all the DEXs that have good fundamentals and technology, basically investor grade is fundamental technology and valuation. So this is the list, right? Now, if we go and look at this and look at the FDV, right? So you have 1 inch at basically 700 million FDV, right? You have Uniswap at 6 billion. That is overvalued, right? And this was at the time 50. It had the same investor grade. I think at one point it was over 80, right? Because it has doubled in FDV, right? But its FDV was 50 million FDV with good fundamentals. So that caught my attention. Then I went to the website and I saw they had a fundamental catalyst about to happen. If I go to, let's see here, is it right? If we go to their website, you basically had them getting ready to launch, they say, the first layer 3 derivatives exchange. So I saw, okay, they're launching this derivatives exchange sometime in Q2. It had good fundamentals, good technology, good valuation, at $50 million FDV. And I looked at this competition and I said, this is undervalued. All right, so that's how we got that into our portfolio. Let's actually go back here. All right, so imagine, let's also add derivatives and kind of compare both and see what we get here. Right, so yeah, not really seeing, yeah, so we got Gains Network and others. Right, so the question is, how does this compare to Gains Network? Right, I would say that's definitely a competitor. But back then, Gains was getting lots of attention, being on Polygon. Then I think they announced launching on Arbitrum. Then you had GMX. GMX was what, over $500 million? I'm not sure why GMX is not appearing on this list. But if we just go to GMX, so basically we had GMX at, now it's at so GMX has $1 billion valuation, basically 950 billion, right? 950 billion. I'm sorry, 950 million FDV. But if we come down here, right, investor grade is not that great. Now that's not to say it hasn't done well, right? Fundamentals are good. Technology is, according to our data here, not the best. Valuation obviously overvalued because it's the market leader. Now, technology-wise, you're probably wondering what goes into that. So we basically take all this data, right? Developer activity, security audits, hacks, bug bounties from our different vendor, and code quality. All this is fully automated. We put this data into an AI and it creates a technology grade. So that's not to say that it's a bad project per se. It just means that maybe they've already shipped and there's not much development activity happening because maybe it's now just getting users, right? But all this is what's going into this. But either way, regardless of that, what matters? Like, let's say you're looking purely at fundamentals, right? Let's say it's just purely fundamentals. You got basically GMX at 72%, and we've got Gains Network, also a perps project or derivatives, right? Investor grade slightly better, 71%, because I'm guessing it's undervalued. And fundamentals also the same, but it's more undervalued. hence the better grade. Versus IDEX, versus IDEX, 75%. All right, so IDEX fundamentals are actually slightly lower, 2% lower, but technology is good, and the valuation. Right? So basically, IDEX is basically 1/9 the price or the valuation of GMX, and Gains Network is about slightly about 70% or so better. But imagine you saw IDEX at 50 million FDV with this big catalyst of them about to launch this exchange, right? This perps exchange or the derivatives exchange. So to me, it just told me, okay, even though it's 2% lower in fundamentals, it's not what a tenth the valuation. It's not supposed to be a tenth the valuation of GMX and these other projects. So that told me, okay, it's going to catch up. It's probably going to become half of that. Right? So that to me, that was okay. That's if the price target was, or if the valuation target was $500 million, that's an easy 10x right there. Right? That's the same framework we used with Canto, right? Canto and FMOS. For those of you who followed us back in this in Q4, when then Canto went on to do a 7x in a bear market. Same thing is being applied to IDEX. I think IDEX is comparable to all these other projects, but it's undervalued relative to its current valuation of these other projects. And I think once they have this big launch event that's happening, because if you go to, I believe, learn more over here, right? This was posted April 24th. Basically, it goes on to say that layer 3 launching on Polygon, I believe. If we go to, let me see this. Just not finding it. Wasn't it here? But anyway, if you go to the documentation, something about Polygon. Actually, I think they're launching on zkEVM. Yeah, I think actually it was from last quarter, right? So it says Q2 zkEVM testnet deployment. Who happens to have a zkEVM? Polygon, right? And I think it was here, right? It's right here, right? So one of the most promising developments in the crypto space is Polygon's zkEVM. So they're planning to launch IDEX on Polygon zkEVM. What does that give us, right? So the whole ZK narrative that's been trending. So you take that and derivatives and one-ninth the valuation of GMX and all these other projects. To me, that tells me this is undervalued. Now, I'm not saying this is going to go out there and flip GMX, but I think this is undervalued and can go on a rally. And I think this is a good trade, definitely, because even I'm kind of talking about this more as a swing trade or as a long-term investment, because for us, it's a long-term investment. The fact that it's popping up, going back to our top 5 coins of the week, right? And going back to the ratings page where I was, I think it's definitely undervalued. But basically, those are the coins I would be looking at. And once again, manage your risk, manage your risk, right? So purely as a trade, 1% or less, right? I would say 1% basically max as a trade. Sorry, somebody's calling me. I'm going to put do not disturb here. I hate all these spam callers. All right, but anyway, I mean,
We just landed on the moon in the Lambo.
I mean, definitely tell me what you think. If you enjoy all this alpha we're doing, we definitely want to do a lot more of this. So we definitely appreciate it if you could smash that like button and share this video with a friend. We're trying to evolve the content and give you more ways to make money, right? Basically right now, if you don't make money, it don't make sense. That's kind of the mindset, right? So I want to show you practical ways to make money in crypto, right? So I just showed in the beginning of this stream, we showed you basically, if you're going to FOMO and degen into these degen coins, meme coins, a practical way to actually do it, managing risk and still make money, right? Without getting wrecked. And now, same thing with trading. I'm showing you how to use the platform and token metrics to go through and let's say the 5 coins or 6 coins we've showed, back to the same strategy, 1%. So you take what, the 6 meme coins, or the 5, yeah, let's say 6 meme coins were covered, or 6 tokens. Let me actually go back here. All right, so if we go back to the stream, right? So I covered actually 5 or 6 that came up on the ratings page, and then you got another. We had 6 here, so that's 12 tokens we've covered on this stream. So how do you actually apply this to make money? So you've got a portfolio. So let's say you allocate maybe like 30% or even 20%. Well, let's keep it simple. Let's say you allocate 15% of your portfolio to trading. So that if you have basically $10,000, that means you're allocating 1,500 of that to trades. And out of those 1,500, you make 15 trades at most. Let's say 10, but let's say today we have 12, right? So let's say you would take $1,200 out of the 10,000 and put $100 into 6 of these, the top coin of the week, and $100 into the top rated tokens on Tokenmetrics based on the filters I just walked you through. And you can go to tokenmetrics.com, create a free account. Let me walk people through everything, because sometimes it's best to do that. Actually, this is not what I want. Let me just go back. So basically, I would just go to tokenmetrics.com. I go to pricing. You come here, create a free basic account, right? Basic account is now free, right? It gives you the market page and it gives you the ratings. So everything I've covered is free. Now, if you want to get the details and all that, you have to upgrade to the advanced and premium plans, right? The webinar, where I do basically the same thing as a call on Wednesdays with our premium customers, which is down here, right? If you like this, you can definitely get this every week as well, in more detail. But basically, you come here, get the basic plan, you get the ratings, you go through, do the filters, bada bing, bada boom, right? And hopefully all this free knowledge we're giving out, this free alpha, makes you enough money where you can maybe down the road upgrade to these other plans. But all this I've covered can be done with a basic plan for free. So just go there, create your free account, and join the Tokenmetrics family. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. All right, so next up should be the AMA. All right, so we're here. We got what are your thoughts on Kava under 90 cents? Do you think it is undervalued, or is it a pleasure watching the live stream? All right, so Kava. All right, so if we're gonna go to Kava on Tokenmetrics and see what it says. Okay, so typing in Kava. All right, so trading this right now, I would not touch this. Just seeing trading rate is low, right? Strong sell. I would wait till this goes to buy to even start thinking about touching this as a trade. Basically, trading is short term. Now, as a long-term investment, it's actually good. So that tells me basically, if you have a long-term horizon, 12 months or longer, at least, right? 1 year at a minimum. Right now, this is basically undervalued. All right, thank you, baby. All right, right now this is basically undervalued, right? Let's see here. Because if we actually zoom in, actually, I'm sorry, zoom out here. Let's see. Yeah, so all-time high was $9.11. So basically, this is down almost over 90%, basically. And it goes from here. So if you have a long-term horizon and you're patient, now could actually be a good time to start looking at this, right? Because this is trending up. It's up almost 8% in investor grade. So basically long-term, basically the quick analysis, as a trade, not good. If you're patient, willing to hold this for more than 12 months, definitely worth looking into this. All right, so that being said, let's move on to the next question. Now that the days of ICO are over, if one is unable to buy tokens before they launch, what do you think is the approach to getting 1,000x investment? All right, I love this question. It's not your typical 100x question, but 1000x. Honestly, everything I covered today, that's the blueprint. Right now, unfortunately, the meme coins, I think if I was back in 2017, or even now, if I was Ian Billionaire right now, and I was working a day job, and I was trying to get 1000x investment to quit my job and go into crypto retirement, basically,
We just landed on the moon in the Lambo.
what is the exact strategy I would do to do 1000x return on my money? Well, everything I covered, the meme coins, but in a practical way, in a strategic and systematic way, right? So to recap again, let's say, because for those of you who don't know my story, I turned 20 grand to 5 million, right? So let's say I had 20 grand again. Let's make it simple. Let's say I had 10 grand, same thing I just mentioned, 10 grand, I would do this exact approach. I would take 10 grand and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to allocate, let's say, as mentioned, 15% of that into trades. Let's keep it simple, 10%. So out of the 10 grand, $1,000 every week I'm trading. Basically, these are lottery tickets. This is straight up DJing, straight up gambling, but smart gambling because I'm managing risk. No particular trade is going to make me wrecked. I'm not putting half my portfolio into meme coins. I'm only putting in 10%, and I'm spreading that 10% over meme coins or trades, right? So I would definitely be tuned into token metrics, right? So basically everything I said before, all the top 6 coins that were trending, I'll put 1% into each, right? So out of the 10 grand, I would put $100 into the 6 coins. So if we go back, right? So I'll take these coins of the week. This is basically what's trending in the market. So I would put $100 into these 6 coins, assume they're going to zero. But if they don't, if they triple or hit the target, but Keith, let's make it simple. I put $100 into it. Once that triples to $300, I take on my initial investment, and the rest is a moon bag that I leave for whenever, right? Maybe as it does every 5 or 10x, I take profits. That's the same approach I did with ICOs, except now as opposed to ICOs, because ICOs, due to regulations in the US and other parts of the world, now I think the alpha is in trading, specifically low caps, degens, meme tokens, right? So I'll take the 6 tokens, that same approach, put in 1% of your portfolio, does a 3x, take out initial, keep a moon bag, and take profits after every 5 or 10x. You can pick whatever approach, right? That's one way of doing it. That, right? So 6 tokens, coins of the week. We give this to you every week now, right? Then the other approach would be, or the additional approach on top of that, because now I have 6, then the other 6 would be going to tokenmetrics.com, as mentioned. Let me do this all over again, because this is some pretty big alpha, I think. And you can do this now for free with the basic account. So, I mean, I'll be doing whatever I can to do all this each week, right? So I'll come here, go to customize. This is basically the filters I use, right? So I would say trader grade, graded in 60%. You can say 60, 70, depends on the market. Right now we're in a bearish market, so I'm moving down from 70 to 60%. But the reason why I do that, right, to break it down for you, is this gauge, right? This strong sell is from 0 to 20%. Sell is 20 to 40%. Neutral is 40 to 60%. So once it crosses 60%, it's now in what our AI calls the buy zone, not financial advice. Right? It's in the buy zone. 60 to 80% is a buy zone. 80% to 100% is a strong buy. Right? So now I'm kind of testing out different framework where getting in early at the buy zone, because sometimes getting in here, while it does make money, sometimes projects have been there for a while and it's almost the top, right? So now I think you have to get in earlier. So what I would do is I would do that with token metrics with a basic free account. And then, so basically I've added the trader grade over 60%, trading signal, bullish, definitely bullish. And then I would add a volume filter, right? Because you want to get into projects that have actual trading volume, not illiquid tokens that will get you wrecked, or you basically get stuck once there's a rug pull. So you add that, and then then I add a filter for Sortino ratio because the risk has to be worth it, basically. So I'll do 1.5 or greater. That gives me a list of 6 tokens, right? And then from here, I would come down here, or I'll just scroll back to the left, and I would sort by what's had the biggest reversal, right? So not so much, because now we have all these that are, so even though Chili's is 60%, right? IDEX is higher. This has changed 120% in trader grade. What does that mean? That means basically it was like 30% and has doubled in trader grade. So something is brewing, right? It's only up 1%, but something is changing in trader grade, saying, okay, this could be next. This could be 80% by next week, right? But to diversify the risk, we've got 6 tokens here. I'll put $100 in all of these. So that gives me 12 tokens to trade. So I'll get into all these, and I basically just set and forget. And I would wait for all these to basically make money to go up, right? Basically, and then I would get out of these once the trader grade goes below 60% or the trading signal turns bearish, right? Either or. But typically, the trading signal goes bearish is a better indicator, because this happens, then this begins to decline, right? And so I would do that each week. So that means you could also end up holding some trades longer, right? Because some trades could, let's say like Injective ends up moving for like a month, right? So case in point, if we actually pull up Injective, now to get the details like this, you would have to actually upgrade to an advanced plan, right? So going back to what I mentioned earlier, what was pricing? Did I pull up pricing? Right, so we give you we spoon feed you the tokens, but if you want to get even more insights, right? So if you want to get the token details page, you have to get the advanced plan, right? Because the free account gives you just the ratings, but if you want to get everything else, right, like the visual trends indicator and all that you do have to pay for. But guess what? We do have a free trial for that as well, which is 1 week. All right, so you do all that. Go back to Injective, right? So let's say you upgrade, or let's say you do basic plan for a month, make some money, then you upgrade so you can make even more money. I would come down here, and this is what really I like, right? So this is trader, but why I don't like to day trade so much? Look at this, right? This turned bullish back at $4.16. Actually, let me actually zoom out. Let me zoom in some more to show you the alpha available. Right, so all right, so this turned bullish back in January 12th at $1.51. Then it turned bearish at $3.25. So that's basically what. So it doubled in price. Then it said, hey, you know what? Take your profits and this trade. Let's keep it moving. Right, so you 1%. So back to the example, 10 grand. So you put $100 into this, it turned to $200 over basically 3 months. Not bad for a bear market or bearish environment. Then guess what? Because you're always rotating, right? So in this example, I said basically you're doing about 10 tokens a week. But let's say you allocate 30% of your portfolio to trading. You might end up having 20, maybe even 30 tokens you're trading over the course of a month. Right? So let's say those 10 you got into. Next week, they're still bullish. You're not selling. You're keeping that money, right? Because in this case, if you got into this trade here, you got in and you held for basically till March, right? About 3 months. Then guess what? You took your profits, then it got bullish again. Then you came back. You came back to the party. You weren't finished. There's still some alpha, right? So you got back in at basically what, 426, and the price right now is at about $8, right? So it went all the way up to 9. So it doubled again, right? But you're managing the risk because there was a crash here, and sometimes you don't know, right? You don't know whether it's going to crash and it's dead for good, right? We don't know how bearish the market can get, but this helps you navigate it, right? So basically, I'll be doing this with Injective. So basically, you doubled your price, your investment or trade. $100 into this turned to 200. Then you go back in here, you turn 200 Actually, let's say you take profits. Let's say you get back in with 150 to all that. All right. So I'm going to get towards the 1000x, but I'm going to give you the strategy. You're basically doing this every single week over the course of a month, over the course of 12 months, and you can slowly, gradually build your portfolio into a big portfolio, right? Because imagine 10% of your portfolio is growing at, imagine if you double 10% of your portfolio, right? So to kind of walk you through an example, right? So let's say you had 10 grand, you got 1 grand, 1 grand into these projects, right? So 1 grand to 2 grand in 1 month, right? 2 grand to 4 grand, month 2, 4 grand to 8 grand, 8 grand to 16 grand, 16 grand to 32 grand, 32 grand to 64 grand, 64 grand to 128 grand, 128 grand to 256, 256 to 512, 512 to $1 million in 10 months, right? Then $1 million to 2 million, 2 million to 4 million, right? All in 12 months. Now, I know it sounds insane. And to be realistic, it's not probable, right? You always have to understand this, right? But that's why we play the game. But 1 grand to what was it I said? 4 million or so? Guess what? Even though that might not be reasonable, if you do even just half of that, 1 grand to $500,000 with just 10% of your portfolio, let's say you even turn 1 grand to 100 grand, that's 100x. That same strategy. And guess what? You always have to be in the market. You always have to be in the game. It doesn't matter if it's bearish. If your strategy is, I'm only going to invest in or trade crypto when it's bullish, guess what? You're buying the top all the time. You'll never get the 1000x return. That is exactly what I would do trading wise, right? So, and guess what? Some of these tokens can just completely take off, right? So in the example I mentioned earlier, right? So if we go back to, what was it? Pepe, right? So let's say you put in $100 into Pepe and you follow the strategy, right? Now Pepe, so new tokens, those will not be on token metrics because they're too new to have any price action or data, right? But the other approach I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, definitely go back and watch it, is this has done a 66x in 18 days, in 3 weeks. So in 1 month, you could have done, let's say you do half of this, right? You put in $100 into this, it turns to 3 grand, right? 30x. I mean, so, but let's say you're thinking it's a bear market, oh man, macro, all this, there's no alpha, I'm going to wait until it's bullish. And guess what? This 30x alpha opportunity was available in the market when the whole market has been bearish. So literally people who got out, right? People, if I zoom out, right? People who got out here missed a 30x because market is bearish. Does not matter. There's always alpha out there. So ignore the macro, focus on finding the alpha, regardless of where it is, and just manage your risk. You do that, you can do a 1000x return, right? So, and because if we go back to Pepe again, now the reason why people typically miss the 100x or the 1000x is they might find a trending token or meme coin, but they sell too early. Never be that guy or girl that sells too early. But you also want to manage your risk. You never want to be the person left holding the bag. Right? So to do that 1000x return, that is literally the strategy. You're always in the market all the time, and you're managing risk. You diversify. So with that example, Pepe has done a 66x return. If I had Pepe, I'm taking profits, but I never sell everything. So basically, if you get in, you can view it as pick a range. Every 5 or 10x, you sell a third of your position. Or every 10 to 20x, you sell a third. But you're never selling everything all the time. If you do that approach, you can literally ride this wave till it does a 1000x or more. Right? So for instance, The other one was if we do Shiba, all right? If we do Shiba Inu, textbook. This is textbook how you ride the wave and you always make money, right? So this did, we said what? Actually, I'm sorry, I got this wrong. Correction. Shiba Inu did not do a 17,000x. My bad. It did 176,000x. All right, so to kind of break that down for you, right? So actually, oh man, we got to fix this whole video. even more money, right? So 17, let's say you put in $100 using the strategy because you have 10 grams in your portfolio, and they did 176,000x. It's $100 that turned to $17.6 million. Now, obviously, that will never happen, right? Very few people that can time the exact bottom. So we said, okay, so if we undo that, all that, right? So we say 176,000, 176,000 x. Let's say you only capture even just 10% of that, right? So you're basically getting 17,000x times $100. You're basically getting 1.76 million, almost 2 million. And the main thing is you never sell everything. You never sell everything. You let you have it right up, but you always keep a moon back. So you only sell a third. That's the approach I would get. Apologies if I've been kind of rambling, but I just feel like people love hearing about how to actually make money. All right, so let's check into the chat and see how we're doing. Yeah, so that's the approach I would do. The other approach I would do is look into the next big projects and get the airdrops. Airdrops are easy money, right? So if you take airdrops such as there was Uniswap airdrop, last cycle there was ApeCoin. That was kind of tough. You have to have the NFT. I would right now you have all these big L ones, right? You've got ZK Sync, you've got Takeo. We covered Takeo on the research site. So if you go to research.tokenmetrics, let me pull that up. If you go to research.tokenmetrics and you go to our code reviews, it should be under here. All right, so basically all these projects that we cover that have, I would say 85% code review or higher. So like Tyco, ZK EVM, that hasn't launched yet. Guess what? I would get into the community. And if you can get an airdrop, kind of like basically what happened with Optimism and Arbitrum, those airdrops can amount up to some money, right? So let's say they end up being 5 to 10 grand. Then it does a 10x in 2 years. That's 50 grand, 100 grand right there. Right? If you do 10 of those, right? So let's say you have 10 projects in the portfolio. So 30% for trading. Let's say you do 10% that you view as an investment into projects that you could earn airdrops for. Right? So you've got Tyco, every time we've covered. BitTen's already launched. I don't think there's any airdrop for that. But that's the strategy I would do, right? So you've got Tyco and other projects. Airdrop strategy, I think, is definitely a good strategy in this cycle to make money. All right, so back to the live stream. Definitely tell me what you guys think. Do you think Criticology says this is fire? I'm so zoned in right now. Yeah, obviously not financial advice. Yeah, but if you're in the US, that's taxes every time you sell. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely fair, but better to sell in profit rather than get left holding it back, right? The reason I say that is if you're always selling after every 5 to 10x or every 10 to 20x, pick a number. 5 to 10x, I think early on makes sense. That's the approach I had was after 3x, I would take out my initial and leave and then sell after every 5 to 10x, because sometimes I'll just check every week and see if it's up 5 to 10x, sell a third. up 5 to 10x, sell a third, right? Because if you go to a project like, let's go back in time, right? This was one of my 100x's from 2017. I put in 20 grand. This went to 2 million, right? In like 4 months. Because I invested in Icon. I met the founder in San Fran, met him for coffee or lunch or whatever. It was a private sale. Got in, put in $20,000 in September. It launched in December, and by January, this had done 100x. So 20 grand had turned to 2 million, right? I invested private sale price of 12 cents. Guess what? In this cycle, it's selling at 28 cents. I know people who got in, never sold, whether it was for taxes or whatever, or maybe they were in a syndicate or whatever that had a long vesting schedule. Guess what? They didn't get the 100x return, right? So, and I know some people who sold when it launched on exchanges at a 20x. They sold everything. They didn't do the 100x return, right? This approach I'm giving you is the best of both worlds. You're not left holding the bag, but you're not the person selling at a 5 or 10x, right? Because if you look at this, right, in crypto, products, even good products, will pump and just die because people have shiny object syndrome. They always move on to the next sexy thing, right? So look at this, right? It went from private sale price was 12 cents. All-time high was, I believe, 12 bucks. Where's all-time high? $13.16. It has never recovered. It is dead for life, basically. They're still building out there. I mean, team is still building. I mean, good for them, right? But it has never recovered. And the approach I'm giving you will help you avoid all of that. Right? Because let's say you got in at 12 cents, like I did. It launched at a 20x, right? So 20x, so 0.12 times 20 at 240. Basically at $2. When I see that, oh, 20x, that is way over my 5 to 10x threshold. Guess what? I'm selling a third. Right? So I put in 20 grand times 20. I've got 400 grand. And I'm selling a third of that. So I just turned 20 grand to 130 grand, basically, in 4 months. I'm taking that out. Then I'm leaving the rest, right? So I'm leaving 400 grand. So I'm leaving basically 266 grand as a moon bag. And now I'm on the moon. I'm thinking,
We just landed on the moon in the Lambo.
moon Lambo, we're going to the moon and beyond. But I'm not selling everything, right? I have friends that sold everything. Guess what? They turned 20 grand to 400 grand. I kept the rest, right? I keep this, and I don't look at the charts because now it's gravy. I'm not trading this anymore. I turned 20 grand to 130 grand. I'm up big time. I'm up like what, 6x or more? Almost 7x. Right? Just on the pure profit, and I still have money in there, right? And now I just wait. Then from basically $2.40, right? I just wait. Let's say it does a 3x from there. Guess what? I'm selling a third again, right? Then when it goes from $7, so looking at this chart, right? Let me actually zoom in. Let's actually break this down even more, because this was 2018. We're really going to break this down. All right. This is literally what happened. Just it didn't update. 2018. All right. Yeah. So basically, it launched here. All right. It launched. I need USD price. Where's USD? Why is it showing me ETH? I don't want ETH. Yeah, there we go. All right. So it came out, and it just kept on going. All right. So I got in 12 cents, I believe. So it launched actually up. Yeah, basically it was up. Launched at 47 cents. Let's say 50 cents. At this point, I would sell I'll take out my initial, maybe sell a. I think with this I took out the initial, then I waited for this to keep on going. Then I think like around $2, I sold a third. Then as it went on going up, I sold a third and a third, right? So strategy is you get in. This can be, even though this was private sale, this can be applied with meme coins, right? Let's say Pepe. Let's say Pepe launched. You see it's trending on Twitter. You put in 1% of your portfolio into it. Now, if you have 10 grand, you put $100 into it because it's trending, right? And guess what? It's trending. It goes up. You make money. You take out your initial. It keeps on going up. You take out a third, right? One strategy that can make it even very dead simple. Every time it does a 3x, you sell a third. It does a 3x, one third, right? So let's say it goes from $1 to $3. You sell a third, which is $1. So basically, you're taking out your initial. Then from 3 to it does a 3x, it goes to like 9. You sell a third. So from 9, you're basically just taking out $3. So that's one other way to make it very, very dead simple. But if you do that, if you're always selling a third as it's going up 3x, sometimes maybe 5x, whatever, but just pick whatever threshold it is, you're always selling a third, right? So if it's every 3x, you sell one third, you will capture this huge upswing, but you're always taking profits, and you're never the person that gets in, gets 100x. The only thing worse than losing your money is getting 100x and losing it all because you never sold, right? So the strategy, you sell a third all the way up at inflection points. And those inflection points are the number you pick. It could be every 3x, every 5x, every 10x, but pick a strategy, right? I think 3x is a nice, safe, conservative strategy. Every 3x, you sell a third. So with Pepe, every 3x, you sell one third of your portfolio. That way, you're never predicting when it's going to end, because some of this stuff never ends, right? So if we go to Shiba, actually, I think I already have this open here. All right, let's do the same with Shiba Inu. Let's zoom out, right? So actually, from here to the top was November 2021. So let's actually, do that, 30th, 2021. Right, so imagine you being the guy or girl that sold here. Does not look good. Might as well be an L, all right? But let's say it was actually gaining in price. So when that happens, you're always selling a third, but you're never selling everything. You're always keeping a moon bag. So when it does pump, guess what? That adds up real quick, right? And this happens fast. So let's say you're always selling a third. It's not a time-based thing. It's a return-based thing, right? Because once you take out your initial and you've taken your next profit after that, so let's say you've withdrawn twice, at that point you can be very, very patient, right? So let's say you get in to Shiba Inu, right? You put in $100, it goes to $500. Actually, let's say $600 to keep it simple, to keep the math simple. $600, you take out $200 because that's a third. Let's say that happened in a week. You turn $100 to $200. You take that out. You keep $400 in there, and at that point, you're patient. You come back next week. It's gone from what from a 6x to, let's say, a 6x again, right? So basically, you had $400 in there. It's done a 3x again, and that $400 is now worth $1,200. Guess what? A third. You take out $400. You now have $800 left. So 400 plus 200, you've turned $100 into $600 pure profit, and you have I'm already losing track. You have what, $800 left, right? And that $800 does a 3x again. But actually, I would say after the second profit, you can be even more patient. So let's say I'm not coming back after a week. I'm coming back after a month, right? Because now I already turned $100 to $600, 6x pure cash, realized profit. Then the other $800, I can be more patient with it. And let's say after a month later, it does a 60x because it's a meme coin, right? So 60x on 800 bucks is what, right? 800 times 60, 48 grand. That's doable. I'm hearing stories of people making millions with Pepe already in 3 weeks, right? Guess what? Same thing, 48 grand. I sell a third. That's 16 grand pure profit. I take out. That leaves me with what, 32 grand in there. Guess what? With each time you take profit, you want to be even more patient, right? So let's say after you could almost view it as with every profit you take out, anytime you sell, the next time you almost want to maybe double the time you wait to take profit again. So let's say the first time you took profit after a week, the next time you sell, you take profits after 2 weeks. The next time is 4 weeks. The next time is 8 weeks, basically 2 months. So you're because now the moon bag, you want to let that baby ride because you're already Gucci, you're already making the money, right? So let's say after a month, this 32 grand I have left in here, I'm coming back after maybe 2 or 3 months, right? Because now I'm doing other stuff. Because I'm saying, okay, this is now riding. This you want to let your winners ride. This is one other principle. Products that are winners, if they're taken off, if they're ripping, they typically continue to rip long term, right? Because imagine if Pepe is doing this now, what do you think is going to happen post Bitcoin halving? When it has Binance listing, Coinbase listing, Robinhood listing, once Bitcoin crosses all-time high again, which is going to happen in my opinion, let's say Bitcoin crosses 100K. Guess what? All those newbies getting back in, right, to basically buy the top, unfortunately, right? Because let's say they didn't believe in the philosophy of being in the market all the time, even though it's bearish. Let's say they only believed in coming in when it's bullish, right? The waiting for bullish signal. Guess what? By the time the bullish signal gets here, the alpha is being made by us, right? So when that happens, you want to be around, right? Taking profits, right? Buy low, sell high. And you capture the whole move by selling a third, right? So that's the strategy. All right, let me check the chat here. I know I've been talking a lot. Ian, can tokenmetrics be designed to track sentiment of new meme coins that would help members get in early? Yes, so that's something we're working on. But for now, what you can do is, if you just go to tokenmetrics when you log in, you can use us and CoinGecko, most trending. You've got Pepe, Arbitrum, and Sui, right? Three of the coins we've covered. Then you can also go to other sites like, where was I with? Like if you go to CoinMarketCap, they have a trending page somewhere. Yeah, those have trending here, right? They've got Sui, Arbitrum, Shiba Inu. So what was the page I went to on here? I think, Spotlight. Go to CoinMarketCap Spotlight. You've got, so top trending and biggest gainers. So what I would do is you can do like top 3 here, then biggest gainers, top 3. And this is pure degen, pure aping in, pure FOMO, but in a strategic way, because we're only putting in 1% of our portfolio, never more. If you do any more than that, not financial advice, right? Might as well take that L. I'm sorry, right? 1%, because guess what? If you're just picking, because these are lottery tickets, these are moon tickets. This is pure degen, but you're managing the risk, right? And then you take all these and you just keep on rotating every week. Now, obviously, if it's a bear market, and because right now meme coins are doing well, but sometimes there could be no big gainers, right? The main thing is you want to make sure whatever you're getting in is liquid as well, right? So that's why I like to use tokenmetrics to do all the filters on the ratings page, right? So I would basically do like top 3 here for trending, top 3 for gainers, and then ratings page using the trader grade filters like these top 6. So like gives you 12. You do that, then you also do the airdrops, right? You go to our code review section, you see what projects L1s, L2s have test nets, and you do the test net for that. Now, one thing I didn't cover, you could probably even do the same thing with NFTs. Now, I think that's a lot more degen and typically a lot more illiquid. But let's say you go to a site like Crypto Slam, which is a good site for tracking NFTs. literally just, you're basically riding the wave, right? So how would I do the same thing to NFTs? Let's actually really get deep with this, right? So you have 30% you've done out of your portfolio. 30% is allocated for trading, 10% for testnet airdrops. What does that mean? So let's say that, like, for example, one of our investments for Token Matrix Ventures, Nibiru and others, and Nilian, they're doing test nets, right? Where people join the Discord and everything, right? Maybe it requires some capital for you to maybe spin up a server to help with the testnet, maybe to do a node on testnet, right? So you're investing, let's say you're taking $100 to pull up a node on AWS, or maybe pay somebody to do it for you because maybe you aren't a developer, right? But you view that as an investment because maybe that's going to have an airdrop that could be like Arbitrum, right? That's an example, right? So 10% could be towards that. Or maybe 10% of that is buying a Helium device back in 2021, right? Or maybe it's buying a HiveMapper device, right? So let's say maybe out of that 10%, right? Because back to the example, let's say you have 10 grand, right? 10% of that is 1 grand. Let's say you're buying a HiveMapper device. That could be $500, I believe, right? So that's half of your allocation. So that means you buy the HiveMapper device, which is a device that'll help you. Let me actually pull that up as well. I haven't covered HiveMapper. So we've got HiveMapper. It's basically drive to earn. So it's a dash camera you buy, and you put this into your car, and as you're driving around, you're earning free tokens. So you've heard of walk to earn with step in, right? That's one of the example, right? Basically, it's this dash cam. You put it into your car. If you're driving anyway, this is free money. This is one way to, so basically and I think it costs $500, or did they change the price? Yeah, if you go to order now, let's see if they change the price. Yeah, so $550, $650. All right, so let's say you buy this one out of your 1,000 grand for like doing other stuff. That's an allocation. That's an investment. So even though you're not buying the token, you're buying something to mine the token, and that's part of your portfolio. Right. So let's say you buy this, and initially it's giving you, I don't know. Let's see here. If we go to Honey. Okay. Okay. So let's say it's giving you. All right, because right now it's very illiquid, right? This is the price. The price is going down, and I hope it goes down even more, right? But you're thinking long term, right? So you're mining this or drive to earn, and let's say this eventually goes from 200 million FDV to 2 billion FDV, right? 10x, right? So let's say you're earning, like for example with Helium, I bought the device, was what, $500? I forget. Yeah, I think 400 to $500. I plugged it in. I was sharing my Wi-Fi connection and earning tokens with that. Hey, baby, you're on camera. All right. Okay, no worries. All right. But basically, that was funny. Let's say Helium is $500, right? You plug in the device, and at the peak, at one point, I was earning 3 to 6 grand a month just mining Helium tokens. So the same thing can be done with somebody said best life ever. That can be done, right? That's part of your portfolio, right? I'm saying you can do 10%. You can maybe do like 20%, right? But that's part of the portfolio, right? Then the same thing can be done to NFTs, right? So if we go to Crypto Slam, right? So you come here. Let's say you say what's trending. Let's see here. How would I do NFTs? Can I change the volume? Yeah, let's do. Yeah, so you could say, okay, if I'm going to ape into NFTs, how am I going to do it? Okay, so you could come here and say top NFTs in the last 24 hours. You've got Bored Apes, Azuki. So let's say I'm going to allocate 10% once again of my portfolio to NFTs. That means out of the 10 grand, it's 1 grand. And let's say I want you to do 10 NFTs. So I have $100 to spend on NFTs. And what price point can I get in? Because what is way too much. So you could maybe just go through here and see what NFTs have a floor of $100 or less. And you're basically just writing checks, right? So you have $1,000 to spend over as many NFTs as you can. So let's say maybe you end up buying 13 NFTs that have a floor under that are liquid, right? So let's say you have $100. So you need trading volume to maybe be 100 times or 1,000 times that. Where's the floor price? Can I see the floor price? Yeah, I'm not seeing this here. Yeah, but basically that's how you'd filter out all the ones that have high floors that you can't. You'd filter out those that have high floors that you can't afford, but you can find the new trendings, right? Maybe that's how you find the next Utes or DGOT. That's basically one way of doing all that. But I mean, that's the blueprint. You take whatever is. So let's say you're doing that for 24 hours. You could also do it for the weekly, right? To maybe have more long term. And you come here. Like, this is not the best. I should find a better site. Nansen could also do this as well. But I don't think I have my login info for Nansen. All right. But let's say you're doing in the last 30 days. You come here. I wish I could filter by rankings. Collection. Let me just drill down here. All right. But anyway, this is one empty site. Let me try actually OpenSea. It's not gonna force me to log in here. Yeah, so let's say OpenSea. Let's say we're doing trending in the last 1 week. All these pop-ups. Right. So let's say we're doing OpenSea, right? Trending. Let me go back. I did not want that. Looks like the Pepe NFTs now. All right, so let's do that. We got 7. Then, all right, so case in point, right? We've got Pepe editions. The floor price is 0.02 ETH. The volume is pretty high, right? What you could do is say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take 10 grand. I'm going to take $1,000 and just buy top 10 right here at these floor prices. All right. So let's say you could do like what, $100 into this, or even less. Let's say you're just buying like, because 0.02 ETH, ETH price is, if I go back here, 19. Yeah, ETH price is $2,000, right? So 2,000 times 0.02. That's $40. Right. So let's say I end up buying 2 of those at current prices, right? So you kind of just do the math, right? So this is $2,000 times 0.11. Right, this maybe I can't. Actually, maybe you could, because if this is $80, maybe you allocate that more towards others, right? So basically, you spend $1,000 buying 10 of these, and maybe one of these ends up being the next Utes or DGOT or next Bored Ape, right? So this is one way to ride the trends. One way to be a degen in different sectors, from NFTs to meme coins to trading, while managing risk. You're never putting more than 1%, but you end up having a huge portfolio you're building, because you have all these NFTs, all these trades, all these. Then you also have the long-term investments, right? And that's where I like to really dive deep into, right? So let's say you're doing long-term investments. Let's say you're doing, because let's say that's half the portfolio, right? So you have 30% trades, 10% for mining or airdrop. Actually, let's say 10% for mining, 10% for airdrop, right? So maybe costs to have a server or node or pay somebody to do it for you, right? That's half the portfolio. Then you got maybe an additional 10% for NFTs. That's 60. So you got 40% now left for just pure investing. All right, so that's $4,000. I would allocate that, let's say $4,000 over, let's say what, 20 investments. And that's for $200 per investment, so slightly more. So basically, you're doing about 2% of your portfolio, I believe, with that. So what 20 investments are you really going to get into for the long term, right? That's basically like buying the polygons of the world or whatever. So you can do more large cap, you can do more, but let's say I'm going to use token metrics for that. That's basically, I would come here, same thing I was doing. Let's actually reset this. All right, so I would come here. I would say investor grade over 60%, because once again, we're going with the buy zone, right? So if we're saying, basically, once again, strong sell is 0 to 20%, 20 to 40 is sell, neutral is 40 to 60, 60 to 80 is buy, and 80 to 100 is strong buy, right? So we're looking at anything that's buy and above. That's why I'm doing 60%. So going back to this. So we do that. Then same thing, I want to make sure what I'm getting into is liquid, that I can get out when I have to sell my 1/3 as it's going way up, all the way up. That's how you avoid liquid tokens and rug pulls. All right, so we've got that. Now, same thing, I want to make sure the risk I'm taking on is worth the returns. So I'll do a certainty ratio 1.5 or higher initially, and this will give me a list, a nice list, right? And guess what? Some of these projects we've covered before, right? So what you could then do is say, okay, how do I sort this? The different ways to sort this. You can sort this by investor grade, but let's say we want to sort this by change in investor grade. What's changing the most? Let's see what this gives us. All right, so we've got all these tokens here, all right? We've got the OKX blockchain, Phantom, Coco's BCX, Render, which has done pretty well, Magic, LivePeer. So these are 37 tokens. We've got Floki here as well. I want to get this down to a list of 20. Right, so now let's say I am back, let's say I don't have money, I only have 10 grand, I'm still working a day job. I'm trying to make 100x, 1000x, as somebody mentioned earlier, right? Because let's say, because once you get to that level, once you make millions, then you want to protect them, right? So you're not as, and you can't just drop $1 million into meme coins, right? So let's say I'm back at the level. I'm probably going to add a filter for FDV. I'm going to say I don't want any large caps. I'm going to be super degen. And all these trades, investments, I'm assuming they're going to zero, right? Yours only put capital that you're willing to lose, right? So let's say, actually, let me see what I'm going to do here. Actually, let's say $1 billion. $1 billion is probably, let's see if that gets us the 20 we're looking for. All right, yeah, so this works. So we've got, okay, this is the list. Now let me sort, actually, sorry, no, that's not what I want. I want less than. Yeah, I was like, that looked different. Less than $1 billion, FDV. Okay, we've got 22. Okay, so if looking at this now, I'm going to sort by FDV, ascending. All right, so we've got this. We have 22. I want to narrow this down some more. Let's see here, what else I can do. Okay, so how about this? Let's bump this up to 65%. That should do the trick. Yeah, so we've got 17 projects now. Okay, so then I sorted by FDV, yep. So this is the hit list, right? So we got, these are the low cap coins already on exchanges that have somewhat reasonable, decent fundamentals. Right, so we've got wETH, we've got Constitution, we've got IDEX, which I covered before, Cocos BCX, LivePeer, Gains Network, Trader Joe, Cartesi, IoTex, Fetch.ai, Engine Coin, Floki, Ocean Protocol, Singularity, Terra Luna Classic, ironically, is still here, Injective, and BitGet. So this would be the list, right? So now I might not go and buy all these. I might buy maybe half of these, but this shows you how you create the watch list, right? So let's say out of these, you end up buying 10, right? Because let's say, let me just check something, which ones I maybe don't want. All right, so let's say the ones I might buy, wETH has been showing up a lot. So let's say 1 wETH, Constitution down, maybe I'll just put a Hail Mary there. That's 2, IDEX 3, Cocos BCX 4, LivePeer 5, Gains Network 6, Trader Joe 7, Cartesi 8, IoTex 9, Fetch 10. Yeah, actually, I would buy all these, actually, except maybe Terra Luna Classic. Or maybe just as a meme, because crypto memes always end up pumping, right? Kind of like how FTX token pumped again when they talked about that they're about to recoup all the money and launch again next year, right? So maybe that happens with Luna, who knows? Basically, you have 17 tokens, right? So that is 17 investments at 1% of your portfolio, right? So that's 1,700 right there. So that's basically 77% of your portfolio allocated. So that leaves you with about 23% of your portfolio. The rest can just be basically Ethereum, Bitcoin, large caps, whatever, right? So maybe the rest could just be, let's see here. If we actually flip this, right? Actually, yeah, let's say the rest are going to be large caps. Actually, we'll do an FTV of, actually, I wanted $1 billion. Yeah, and maybe the rest can just be divided across all these. Right? Or actually, maybe if you wanted to really kind of get risky, you could say the other 23% is split. Is that right? Hold on. Actually, that's not bad. Let's say 5 billion. Yeah. Why the heck is Edgecoin here? This should not be here. Actually, here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a different filter. Let's make it 1 billion. And I'm going to change the trading volume to 100 million, because large caps, you want a lot more liquidity. Boom. Right, this gives you now 4 large caps that are still undervalued. Right, so using that same math, so we have what, 23% we said, which is 2,300 left over 4 investments. So basically, I'm putting $575 of that into Render, Phantom, Polygon, and Solana. That's the alpha. And if you notice, there is no Bitcoin. There is no Ethereum. And that is strategic. As I've said before in a video that kind of went viral, actually, it was a short on YouTube Shorts. Definitely make sure you follow us on Shorts. But basically it said nobody got rich holding Bitcoin in the last cycle. People, the maxis love Bitcoin because they got in 2013. But guess what? It's not 2013 anymore. It's 2023. All right, so you're trying to find the next Bitcoin, the next Ethereum. All right, and even now, I mean, I'm basically in the camp that, to me, Ethereum is almost a stable coin. Right, so nobody's going to get rich holding Ethereum right now. Ethereum is great technology, the largest market share out there. But if you're looking for 1000x, it is not in Ethereum. It's in other products, right? So, for instance, Solana did 1000x last cycle. So the question is, what's the next Solana? But a different question, though, right, is in the same way how, if you go back to when I got into crypto 2016, Bitcoin was like $850, $900. Bitcoin went to what, 20K? I got it, but the money was made in Ethereum. Ethereum was what was holding down the fort. I got into ETH at $8, and it went to like 1,400. Like ETH did 100x, and then became the number 2 cryptocurrency, right? But the money was not in Bitcoin. Bitcoin did what, like a 20x ish. Ethereum went from like $10 to 1,400, basically, right? So that was over 100x. So imagine getting 100x on ETH, 100x on, back then was Wabi, Icon, 80x on Dragon Chain. So all these home runs begin to add up. So with this portfolio we've gone through on this live stream, there's so many potential tokens that can do 100x or more. Because at the end of the day, there's an element of luck involved. But we're placing all these strategic bets across the whole market sector, whether NFTs, trading, large caps, low caps, and what we think is most probable to do 100x or more, and is undervalued, but has good fundamentals, good tech, or is trending. And we're managing that risk, so no position kills us or makes us wrecked. That's how we live to hopefully end up being full-time and
We just landed on the moon and the Lambo.
and go to the moon and beyond, right? So for instance, like let's say Metaverse blows up even more. Renda could be it. Phantom did pretty well last cycle. Polygon did well. I mean, Polygon did at 900x. But for me, I got a 400x return on Polygon when I got it, right? So typically it's not, but everything I've talked about is happening, right? So when I said back in 2017, basically, Bitcoin was king, Ethereum did 100x. Then guess what? Next cycle, Ethereum flipped Bitcoin. Bitcoin gets out of the way. Ethereum became king in the sense that it became the store of value, and Solana did the 1000x. Right. So now, what's going to happen next cycle? It's a game of musical chairs. What I think is going to happen is Ethereum moves out the way. There's no alpha in holding Ethereum. It's good to just hold, to say you're holding it or whatever, or have it for gas. But if you're looking for a 1000x return, it's not an ETH. In one cycle, it's not that. Right. So basically, Ethereum is a store of value. I'm sorry. The next store of value next cycle is going to be some other large cap. I think Polygon is the next store of value. It's on this list. Solana could be that, right? And then I think so. Polygon Solana could do like let's say 20 to 100x next cycle, right? So I would rather have those. They have more upside than holding Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they're still safe. They're still conservative, and they have good tech. While we're also looking for the other 100x's, the next Solanas, and the low caps. But anyway, this has been a long stream. Let me know if you liked all this. I will definitely do this some more. Somebody says, oh, this is a long stream. So like the old days? Yeah, like the old days. I want to give you guys that alpha. What's up, Solo TV? Solo in the house. All right, so if you like this live stream, definitely share this with a lot of people. Let them know we're bringing the alpha back at Tokenmetrics, and let them know Tokenmetrics has a free account. Everything I've been doing on the ratings page is free. Go create an account and get this alpha. With that being said, happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to go and enjoy the weather here in Austin, and I'll see you next week. Happy Friday. And as we like to say,
We just landed on the moon and the Lambo.
the moon is not the limit. To the moon and beyond. Thank you.